Good morning. Yesterday we read about how Joshua passed away and then there was no leadership and everybody was just doing their own thing. So then there were judges appointed to help lead Israel. Today we're going to read Ehud, the left-handed, and it's found in Judges chapter 3. King Eglon of Moab was a very fat man. He feasted too well on the grain and fruit and wine that arrived at his palace as taxes from those he had conquered. For 18 long years, Israel suffered under Eglon's cruel power, and the people were very poor and unhappy. In their despair, they asked God to help them. God chose Ehud to be their leader. Ehud belonged to the tribe of Benjamin, and like many in the family, he was left-handed. The next time that Israel had to take taxes to King Eglon, Ehud himself set off for Moab. He was followed by a long line of servants, obediently laden with the produce they had collected to pay to the king. Ehud was determined to help Israel break free from the power of the Moabites. If he could find a way to kill King Eglon, the army of Moab would be without a leader and Israel might win the victory. So Ehud took with him his own special dagger with its double-edged blade. Because he was left-handed, he hid it on the right side of his flowing robes. Any suspicious Moabite would search only the left side, where most people kept their weapon ready to draw. Ehud and his servants presented their taxes to the king, then left for the journey home. Excuse me. But when they had gone part way, Ehud doubled back to the palace on his own. "Your Majesty, I have a secret message for you," he announced. Eglon ordered all the servants, out and took Ehud to his summer room on the palace roof where breezes cooled the hot air. Eglon waited, rich and important for Ehud's message. Ehud swiftly drew out his dagger with his left hand and killed the king. Quickly and noiselessly, he left the room, locking the richly carved doors behind him. Then he sped back to the hills to call for Israel's fighting men to battle. At King Eglon's palace, his servants hesitated outside the barred doors of his room. At last they found courage to burst in on their royal master and found him dead. By now, Ehud was ready and waiting for the Moabite army. He won a great victory and set the people of Israel free once more. And there is Ehud the left-handed and Eglon the king. And so there was a great victory won and Israel was freed again. And I hope you remember that you can ask Jesus to come into your heart and lead you and help you obey him and do the things he tells us to do, not the things that we always think or the things that others say, but what he told us to do. If you listen, it will help you. And you can ask Jesus to come into your hearts and help you too. All you need to do is ask. Say, "Jesus, please come into my heart. Forgive me of my sins. Help me live for you." And he will. He'll come in and he'll live there. Remember, you're loved and Jesus loves you. I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.